Okay, I'm back in the group because again, video won't play on the Forensic Healing page, and this webinar is how to know if your energy is getting siphoned and more information about it. So not sure what's going on about why it won't play on the Forensic Healing page, but we'll do it in the group, and then again I will move it over to the other pages. Okay, siphoning of energy. Siphoning of energy means that your energy gets taken, that you are depleted of energy. So my background, I used to have chronic fatigue and I would be asleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't have the energy to function normally. I would be falling asleep. I would need to sleep a lot of hours, and I never woke up, I never woke up energized ever, no matter how much sleep. Don't ever recall that. So there's a lot of things that were going on there, and a lot of reasons why I was exhausted, really exhausted. So there's been a process of getting back my energy, and now I have like the most energy that I've ever had, and it's quite amazing to wake up and just get out of bed instead of pushing myself out of bed or waiting for some time before I could actually connect to myself. And I'll tell you some of the things that I've done physically, and then I'm going to go into the things that I've done energetically, because everything works together. If you have a physical body that's not aligned, then it's harder for the spiritual transformations to occur. So everything works together, because if you can't have like a toxic body and then a pure soul, or a connected soul, it's not congruent. Okay, what I did was remove heavy metals out of my body. I've done lots of colonics. I've done lots of fasting. I've done lots of fasts. I take a lot of chlorella that will remove heavy metals. I don't take any medications. I don't get vaccinated. I don't do any of that sort of stuff. So I am careful of what I put in my body. What will happen is the more you care about your soul and your energy, the more you'll care about what you put in your energy field. If you feel crap, you often put crap in it. It often matches. So it's been a process. It's been this, I feel better, I eat better, and it works hand in hand. The other thing is, people smoke. That sucks your energy, and that's toxic. Drinking, and I would drink, not I was an alcoholic, but I would want to fill a void, and I would drink. And I used to smoke up to the age of 26, and that was an addiction. And I've done drugs, and eating can be an addiction for some people. And I was an emotional eater, and so all those things were like filling me up because I wasn't spiritually aligned. All right, so let's go past the place that then I started working on cleaning my body out physically. Then now let's step into the energetic side, because even though I did do this cleaning out of my body physically, I still wasn't at a place that I thought I should be really energized for what I do, and I live my passion and I work out and things like that. So when I started creating the soul module, I realized that our energy can be siphoned or sucked. Now you'll understand that feeling when you're around people. You'll feel that, and those people are the ones that just want to take. They just want something of you, and they're not there to give you anything. They're just there to take. Usually some takers will be giving their energy away somewhere else, because they're so out of balance. They have to try and pull in the energy to fill them up, so that then they can go give away their energy. Or energy, they call them energy vampires. So the way you feel around somebody is an indication of whether your energy is taken or whether it's a mutual relationship. That's what you need to be aware of. Now, if you do have energy suckers around you, so to speak, or people that are taking, often it's a reflection that your energy is getting siphoned. So let's look at the signs. The signs will be, how do you wake up? Do you wake up energized? Are your eyes clear? Do you feel you're ready to start the day? And if you say no, then that could be that your energy is getting siphoned. Do you feel that you're not motivated? Do you think that you want to work out but you go to the gym? Do you yawn a lot? Now, that was one of my signs, yawning. Especially when I try to, this will be a sign, especially when you try to get on a spiritual path or improve yourself. And then it's like, I'm tired, I'm not motivated, I'm yawning. Because there's blocks set up in our energy field to make sure that we don't have the energy to do what we need to do to spiritually evolve. That's another sign. And the general, so that's how you feel. I'm not saying it can be that your energy is siphoned. It can be that it could be just highly toxic. But the more out of balance you are, the more your energy gets siphoned. Now, who are you saying it's getting siphoned from? Well, as I mentioned, some people siphon it, right? People can siphon it. Then you can have the negative alien agenda. You can have this other, entity, the cabal or Illuminati, these negative aliens, these people that are controlling the planet. Well, if you think about it, negative peoples, dark Satanists and all that, they live off negative energy. That's their food because they're dark. And then if you look at humanity and real souls and real people, what do we live off? We actually live off love, and that's an energy. We live off a good energy. And if we don't get that good energy, we feel really bad. We're lacking, luster in life and all of that kind of thing. So if you think about how people heal, and you think about it's all with good energy, it's when you can pray for somebody, when you can love somebody, when you support someone, when you give them this energetic boost of good emotion, then you will realize that our emotions are important. Yeah, so you say when you keep getting continuous yawns, well, perhaps I'll answer that when I get to the end of this, Sarisha. When you start yawning. I used to yawn a lot also in my healings, but now that my energy isn't siphoned anymore, I don't yawn as much, and it doesn't take as much energy. All right, so how do we get our energy siphoned by these other entities and so forth? Well, they need to live off our suffering, and the more mass suffering that the planet's in, the more food they have. It's called loosh. And so any negative emotion, any suffering, any horror, anything like that feeds them, just as love feeds us. Yeah, so just as love will heal and feed us, feed our souls, we need that. Okay, so what do? They can put implants in us, and the implants, one's called a reptilian implant, and it's put in the coccyx. Now, this is just my personal opinion, but I think anytime you have a weakness, then these entities and implants can get in us. So if you fall on your coccyx, if it's injured, that allows an opening for it to get in, and that will stop your kundalini activating. Your kundalini is your life force energy. So it'll block that force, that connection. And some people have talked about having a kundalini connection. Some people have talked about how they spiritually all of a sudden had this sudden, my God, energy rushing through them. And for some people it's been this gradual evolution. Well, as you evolve, these implants fall out. So you've got a reptilian implant in the coccyx, which is a big one, because if you think about it, your spine is your whole structure. It's your nervous system. And the other reason why they make it that you don't get the energy, running through there by getting yourself in high stress blocks all of that Kundalini activation, which is access to source. And once you have access to source, you come awake and you feel, alive, and then the energy, they don't siphon positive energy. When you're feeling great, that energy is positive and heals the planet and heals others. That's the people I'm talking about, okay? The Cabal, the Satanists, the Illuminati, this negative alien agenda, this other agenda, if you so believe it. Either way, whether you believe in that or not, either way, that people can suck your energy and your energy feels like it can be taken, or people can give you energy and lift you up. Now, I was just going to talk about something about that. I was going to talk to you about the siphoning. So this whole, when you're connected, i.e. you've had a Kundalini activation that really connects you a lot more, then it stops you from being disconnected, and then you will stop doing things that harm others intentionally or not intentionally, unintentionally harming others, because we do things in a disconnected state. We stop doing things to the planet. So, okay, this is what I was going to tell you about. Now, the other thing that happens once you get rid of these implants that they can put on you, because there's more than one way they suck your energy. They can suck your energy. They can put crucifixion implants in on the left side of your body, which is done through religion. It's like through the sign of the cross and through the rituals that they do, and through being in that energy that teaches you to be more like a suffering Christ. Like it always controls your creations and attractions, so that they're all suffering and they're all hard, and you go, why is this freaking hard all the time? You're coded like that. We can be coded. Well, when you stop having your energy siphoned, you'll probably stop eating meat. People think that they have to eat meat, because if you think about it, the physical equivalent of blood is life force, because the physical you physically have blood that flows through your whole body, that keeps your whole body alive. That is the equivalent in the metaphysical sense of your life force energy. So life force is your energetic energy that runs through, that helps your spirit, and the physical physical reflection of that is your blood, which is your life force again for your physical body. So what happens is that when you get rid of these implants and you stop your energy from being siphoned, your blood improves, the quality improves. It balances out, because some people will say, well, I have a low blood count of something. I mean, I can't remember the actual science behind it. I've been doing 2 webinars, so I'm a little behind on my information. Your red blood cell count can be down. Therefore, you feel anemic. Yes. And therefore, some people go, oh, I need to eat meat because I need the iron and things like that. Well, that's just, belief system. That's just a program implanted in you, so that then we eat the animals that then suffer in that process of having to be killed and having to be farmed cruelly, and all this kind of thing. So it keeps the cycle going of, giving suffering, offering more suffering by us having to eat meat and so forth, because I don't eat meat, I don't need to, and I used to be anemic as well. I used to feel also like I would faint. But ever since I've blocked and pulled out implants and, from my body, which I have stopped yawning like I used to. There was 2 levels of it. I found there was 2 levels of the implants. One was a reptilian implant, and then there was another implant that I don't even recall. There's so many types of implants. I got it from the soul module, and that got me out. That's when I started getting out of bed energized. Yeah. So the sucking of your energy then puts you in coping mode. It makes you go, oh, I'm just, just getting up. I just coping. I don't have the energy. I can't think. I can't be spiritual. I can't meditate. I am just in survival mode. And the system's set up so that you don't become spiritual. And as you can see, it's kind of a tough job for those that want to be spiritual. A lot of people say that the hardest time in my life was when I decided to be spiritual. And that means connect to your soul and connect your body to that. And this is why it's all set up for you to fail. However, it's completely doable, and I've found the implants that are put in us, that is in our soul module. And the thing is, you can start releasing them if you work hard and do, again, those things: fast, meditate, cleanse, work out. You can do those things that then it's almost like you break shackles off you. And if you have healing, hey, like, healing with someone that has the soul module, for instance, not saying the other modalities don't work, but particularly if you've done everything, then that's kind of the final layer. I don't know what I would create after that. Maybe it's an ascension module, but at the moment, it's got enough information in it to cover absolutely everything that most people have ever talked about or have acknowledged that's done to your energy field. I have felt an implant come out of my head. I felt like it was put in my head to be controlled by somebody, and I physically felt that come out. But the point is, when you actually get your body to a certain level, you don't necessarily actually even need healing. What you can say, I feel like this and I want to release it. That's how it ends up, that your body becomes so attuned and so connected that you can say words and perhaps shake stuff out, that it will just occur. Now, to do that, it takes work, it takes commitment, it takes focus. And I've been pushed to be that focused, and I've been pushed to overcome, it felt like, horror in my life. I was just stuff, spiritual horror or spiritual pain. All right. So energetic loosh is what they pull out of humanity, and that is why they, 9/11 was a good indication of that. Everyone went into fear. The whole globe went into fear when they saw 9/11. And if you counted the amount of times that they played that over and over and over and over the TV. Now, what does repetition do? It creates. What does it? It just creates more of the fear. That is the purpose of the negative alien agenda. So don't watch any of that crap, because it's going in your energy field, and it's duplicating duplicating more horror on the planet, so there's more negative emotion, so that your energy can get siphoned. All right, so if you feel any of those things, so the yawning, okay, let's go back to when you start yawning. Probably I would say that if you're yawning at the beginning and not at the end, I would just use a healing pathway on yourself. It might be an indication that your energy is getting siphoned, or it might be an indication that you're connecting to them. But I would say if it happens every time, and no matter who, I would pretty much pull an entity out, or an implant or something out of your energy field, Lalini. If that happens, no matter who. Everyone's individual, so it's kind of hard to really get specifics, but that's what I would say it probably is. Oh, golems, that's it. I want to tell you about golems. So I'll read it right. It says here, that's what I pulled out, that then allowed me to wake up really well, and I hadn't been waking up well for my whole life. So golems that mainly associated with males were created to collect the life force sexual energy in people to provide an energy food source to the NAA, negative alien agenda. Golem networks exist that are associated with sexual predators to create sexual misery and addictions. These networks are involved with various levels of pornography, strip clubs, sexual fetishes and perversions, especially child pornography and pedophilia. The entities feed on black magic reversals through sexual energy that can be stolen through rapes, stealing orgasmic energy, and disconnected robotic sex, online sex, hateful sex, and sodomy when used to humiliate another person. So that probably would occur with people that have been sexually abused, which is my history. And then golems get attached to your energy and allows for the siphoning, allows for portals to be created and your energy to be taken. Some people, I get a sense like when I'm with them and their energy's fine and their energy's not being siphoned. It gets siphoned when you have a lot of rips and tears and dysfunction in your energy field. Now, even if your energy field is good, you can have rips and tears from past lifetimes, or they just, stay there. Even the implants stay there even when you've healed things around it. So that's why it's a process of changing and healing. And it doesn't feel or seem that easy, but it's so doable today. You can do this. And you just take one step at a time, and then you feel better, and then you go, I'm going to hang on to this feeling, I'm going to commit to this feeling, and then you continue the journey, and then you might feel, then you might have the backlash, or you might have the obstacles before you go to the next level. That's not uncommon, but you just keep going. You just keep going, and then you get to the place where you're off the matrix and you're free, which is what I finally feel after freeing myself of the chronic pain that led me to wanting to die. I'm now free, and I feel like I'm looking down at the whole planet instead of being in it and being part of this manipulation. I'm looked down, and I'm disconnected from it, but I'm still now in it, creating the beauty, creating the love and the beautiful connections. I'm part of that to help humanity, and you are all part of that in some way. We're all doing it in some level. It'd be nice to feel like you're 100% out of the chaos and dysfunction, and 100% existing in a paradise. So that is kind of the journey. All right, let's have a look at the atlas. Yeah, things can attach to you at the back of your head. That can be, you can be attacked at the back, and that can be where things are placed. So your energy can be sucked there, and entities are attached there. However, again, I told you some clues of releasing yourself physically. You can work on yourself physically, and then that can actually detach. But, if you combine both the energy healing and work on yourself, it can be a daily thing, and commit to working on yourself. I actually just saw a girl before. It was actually just this morning, and if you spend a lifetime of not paying attention to your energy, you're not paying attention to your spirituality, it seems to be catching up with you in this lifetime. So those who have been on this journey and think, gosh, it's a hard journey or whatever, don't worry. You're doing really well, because your head's past a lot of people, because a lot of people are now going, I can't do this life anymore, and it's more difficult to then cross over and get onto a spiritual path and open yourself up and break down the walls when you've stayed in a corporate world or an institution where they don't look at the spiritual side, or they don't value it at all. It's all like, just get the job done and make the money. So just, pat yourself on the back, be proud of you that you've decided to love yourself enough to love the spiritual side of you, and to love your soul enough, and to pay attention enough, and to make it a priority. All right, I don't think I've got any questions. I just have to have a quick look if there were any questions. All right, so there's one more question. Oh yes, so okay, so I answered Sarisha. Okay, that was a question. I thought it was for you, Sarisha, about the yawning. Sorry about that. All right, I'll close down with maybe closing the case, because this closes down. When I close the case, I make sure that your energy field is not sucked. In forensic healing, we close down portals and stuff, and that's what makes a big difference. Portals get opened up permanently in your energy field, and I close them down. It's like tubes. All right, let's just I'll do the last bit of closing the case. Oh, here I'll do. I request, all right, everyone take a deep breath. I request closure and disabling of harmful portals, gateways, channels, stargates, NAA firewalls, and access routes to other dimensions and realities controlling, interfering, or siphoning your soul and energy life force. I ask the guardians and angels to pour blessings upon you for all the things that you require to obtain soul freedom and sovereignty. I ask that they guide and protect you and lead you on a path of empowerment to assist with the evolution of your soul and humanity. I ask that healing may continue throughout this time, and that you may always know that you are of divine, infinite worth and holds the power and choice for your transformation. I confirm these requests have taken place and this healing is complete. Take a nice deep breath in. And breathing out. And thank you for thanking me. Thank you for your support. I feel it. I appreciate it beyond measure, because it's energy that allows me to go forward, and I'm always grateful, and I may not always acknowledge and be able to thank you back for thanking me, but know in my heart I am thanking you, and I hope you feel that blessings and love always.